Greetings, everyone. On today's live stream, we would love to introduce our newest product, the Kara Vegetable Gummy.
I'm a person who does not like to eat vegetables, but here I'm eating them. Very tasty, very
It
tasty.
equals to one bunch of vegetables a day.
That's right, equal to a bunch of veggies a day.
Only need to have 2 or 3 gummies a day, and it can supply enough fiber for a normal person.
How can you trust the information on the internet? It could be right or wrong. If it was wrong, how can you know if it's truly wrong or just an oopsie? Well, regardless of the context, the disseminations and proliferations of misleading information can significantly contribute to a widespread crisis of trust. This phenomenon undermines public confidence in the media and leads to increased skepticism towards the information on the internet. As a result, this poses a prominent challenge for those who belong to the media and communication industry. Hi, we are Thi, I am Ngọc.
My name is Thi.
Hi, my name is Tu.
And my name is Minh Ân.
I'm Fu.
And today, let us go over the effects of misinformation and disinformation and their impact on the societal trust crisis using the carrot candy case.
The flourishing era of digital media has witnessed a rapid expansion of various online platforms. These platforms allow information to flow quickly through simple activities such as likes, shares, and comments, thereby making the spread of information both cost-effective and increasingly successful. As a result, digital platforms have become indispensable tools for marketers and experts within the media communication industry.
But besides information, false information or so-called misinformation and disinformation can also be spread easily by digital media. According to Lichella and Eaglehofer, misinformation is false information that is unintentionally created or spread, often due to miscommunication or lack of knowledge. But disinformation, on the other hand, is deliberately created and disseminated with malicious intent, such as for financial or political benefit, differing in motivations. However, distinguishing between misinformation and disinformation is challenging, as the underlying intent is difficult to ascertain or measure in real-world scenarios. Furthermore, according to Majid Saji, a lecturer and academic coordinator at the Institute of Space Technology, the widespread use of this unverified information from digital media compromises media credibility, which leads to a decline in public trust in the internet. We call this the crisis of trust.
Specifically on platforms where short clips often simplify complex topics. However, there's a possibility that false narratives can take hold. For instance, influencers who go live streaming without expertise can unknowingly spread misinformation, leading to public deception, just like in the carrot candy case. In November 2024, CER Group was established in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam, and launched its first product, the Carrot Vegetable Gummy. The gummy was marketed as a health supplement made entirely of Vietnamese vegetables and fruits. Nevertheless, the product has encountered public backlash due to exaggerated health claims, such as 1 gummy equals a plate of veggies. Additionally, there has been rumors that the product was manufactured in China, even though it displayed a Vietnamese label.
This incident occurred in an online environment where Vietnam's regulated system for advertising and health product claims are still lacking. Although Vietnam has established legal frameworks such as Decree 15/2018 issued by the government, which mandates content approval for health-related advertisement, and Decree 43/2017, which requires untruthful product labeling. However, enforcement remains weak. Misleading statements can easily spread on digital platforms.
Social media platforms were instrumental in the success of Kara's viral marketing campaign, particularly through the live commerce involving popular influencers. Why? This phenomenon can be linked to the halo effect, a cognitive bias wherein an individual's perception of a particular attribute of an entity positively influences the overall valuation of that entity. Kara influencers, including TikToker Hang Yumong, YouTuber Wang Lin, and a beauty queen Nguyễn Thúc Thị Tinh, has cultivated a robust and online following by consistently engaging with their audiences in a manner that fosters trust and authenticity, such as charity, sharing their life stories, and being trusted for endorsing many reliable products. Consequently, the attitudes, opinions, and behaviors of consumers towards the brand were positively enhanced by these influencers, who are viewed as trustworthy in providing credible information and recommendations, thereby ultimately boosting customers' purchase intentions. That's why, despite being a new brand, Kara quickly gained sympathy and sold products quickly.
However, even with bold claims presented in the promotional materials, such as the assertion that gummies can substitute for daily vegetable intake, there is no solid evidence to back it up. Such exaggeration can be considered misinformation because they create unrealistic expectation for consumer. As a result, this kind of marketing can create a distorted reality of how the product works and thus the information. Therefore, when influencer marketing is inauthentic, it can diminish the trust consumers have in both the influencer and the brand. Kera brand not only received numerous negative feedback, but also had to recall their products, refund money, and pay a significant fine to the Food Safety Department of Ho Chi Minh City.
In addition, misinformation and disinformation amplify perceived bias, fostering confusion and suspicion, hence undermining media credibility. As false narratives, distorted facts, and sensationalized stories circulate rapidly across platforms, it becomes more complex for people to differentiate between what's true and what's manipulated. For instance, Tweeting said that all of the information that she shared was provided by the company. It is possible that she was unaware of the inaccuracies due to lack of knowledge or miscommunication. However, there's also a possibility that she knew the truth but still chose to share incorrect claims about the candy. Ultimately, the true extent of her innocence remains uncertain, as she issued an apology but still continues to follow Care Vietnam on her Facebook.
Same with Hằng Du Mục and Quang Linh Vlog. As a part of the CEO group, they must be fully informed about the Kera gummies, including its ingredients and manufacturing process, since the factory has to adhere to the company's specifications. However, they proceeded to make exaggerated claims, asserting that a single candy was equivalent to a plate of vegetables.
Tại vì thực chất là cái một viên này ấy, thì mọi người nó sẽ tương ứng với một đĩa rau luộc. Đây là một viên kẹo như này nhá, là nó tượng trưng cho mọi người như là một cái đĩa rau luộc ấy. Viên như này nhá, viên như này thì là tương ứng với là một cái đĩa rau luộc của mọi người.
Trong một viên này nói chung nó khoảng tầm là một đĩa rau luộc của tụi mình.
When this claim was debunked, they attempted to mitigate the fallout by referring to products as a supplement. The sincerity of their apologies remains questionable, leaving viewers uncertain about the true level of innocence.
Indeed, the process of spreading and achieving misleading information through the media has become one of the significant contributors to the growing crisis of trust in society. All of this can be explained by the concept of mediatization. According to Nick Country and Andreas Hub in the mediated construction of reality, mediatization describes the change in society resulting from the technology-based communication process. So, take the carrot candy case as an example. In a good way, the carrot gummy controversy has positively heightened health awareness and influenced healthy eating habits among Vietnamese netizens, as evidenced by numerous short videos online that encourage consuming vegetables and fruits, and also share instructions on how to make vegetable gummy candy at home.
But what if the carrot gummy case has never been caught? A group of researchers indicated that false claims, especially sensitive topics like health, can cause extensive and persistent harms to consumers by exploiting psychological drivers like visceral influence, affect, machines, misinformation, and norms, thereby creating confusion, anxiety, and psychological distress among the public.
Needless to say, the growing crisis of trust in society towards the internet can reduce public engagement and compliance. As a result, the implementation of stricter regulations or a transition to traditional advertising may become necessary, albeit at a higher cost. Besides, brand collaborations become more complicated and ineffective, hence limiting opportunities for influencers. What should the people from the communication industry do in this circumstance? For this, we will explore the responsibility of influencers and the role of social media platforms. Now, let's look at the influencer credibility and responsibility angle.
As Muhammad Abdullah Abduraimov noted, ethical considerations are a core part of influencer marketing. These considerations not only protect the audience, but also strengthen the credibility and effectiveness of marketing strategies. Take a look at the key factors that influence ethical influencer marketing. These factors include authenticity, trustworthiness, social proof, parasocial interactions, platform dynamics, engagement metrics, conversion metrics, sentiment analysis, and ethical practice. When these factors are prioritized, influencer marketing becomes more than just promotion, but a tool for building trust and fostering genuine connections. So let's keep ethics at the heart of influencer marketing. It's good for the audience, good for brands, and great for long-term success.
So, what should platforms do to verify or manage personal health claims to avoid spreading inaccurate or misleading information? First, The fact-checking must be more efficient and include flagging, blocking, or removing content that have been brute force. This helps reduce the impact of misinformation. Furthermore, a critical evaluation of social media algorithm is essential. Currently, many platforms exploit the high traffic generated by false news. This trend is highly dangerous and must be addressed. Additionally, new tools for automatically identifying and classifying widgets that make reckless or self-help claims should be implemented, including port or algorithm designed for machine learning. Finally, those people regularly spread misleading claims should face stricter measures such as account suspensions.
And that's it for today. Through this case study, we want to deliver the message that
Transparency forges connections. Connections shape the future.
Transparency is widely recognized as a fundamental component in building trust and understanding.
When we share information clearly and honestly, we not only build lasting relationships, but also create an environment where people can make informed decisions.
So, transparency is not just about disclosing information, it is also a commitment to being accountable for our action, paving the way for a more trustworthy and resilient future.
thank you for listening. We're Rati, and see you next time.